Hello everyone, I'm actually editing this video and I just wanted to add this to the beginning before you see it because I'm really all over the place in this and, in terms of my topics that I'm talking about, but also kind of my emotions and my facial expressions. I look weird, I know, but please bear with me. I hope you can get over that and actually just enjoy the video. And the reason I'm like that is because I am manic, and I will explain what that is in the future if you want, but I just felt like I should explain that because I feel weird posting it knowing that I look a little strange without telling you a little bit about why. Also, that being said, if you are bored currently and you're looking for something to do while you watch this video, I recommend taking a shot every time I touch my hair in this video.
Hello everybody, I'm Sophie and welcome back to our channel. About a year ago, I made a video called Eating Disorder, Inpatient, Food Rules. And over the last few months, you guys have been asking a lot of questions. So I went into the comments section and asked if you would be interested in a video, the general rules, the non-food related rules. Lots of you liked that. I guess this is kind of a part 2 to that video. I'll link it in the description. I hope that I'm able to answer some of your questions and give you a better understanding of eating disorder treatment. Because a lot of you are saying, like, I could never do that, that sounds fucking awful. And yes, it does. But there's more to eating disorder treatment than what happens at the table. I watched the last video in preparation for this just to see how I kind of structured it. Maybe it's because I find everything that comes out of my mouth cringy to at least some degree. The entire time I was watching it, I was
grinding my fucking teeth.
My 18-year-old self was so cringy. I think I've evolved a bit. I can only hope that next year, if my 21-year-old self watches this, I can look at it and not feel nauseous. I don't have high hopes. All that being said, I'm going to be referencing again this package that I got upon my admission. So once again, I will not be saying the name of this place, but it was a residential treatment center. It wasn't like a normal hospital unit. This is also not the only treatment center I've been to, and I have been to one since making that video. However, for the sake of consistency, I'm going to just be talking about the rules for this place, but in my experience, most places are pretty similar in terms of their general rules. Also, just important side note, I recently posted a video talking about my experience with unethical healthcare professionals, specifically in this treatment center. So it is very weird for me to talk about this place in this way again, now that you all know how I feel about it. And I'm mentioning this because there is a gem of a section in this manual about discharge planning and patient-staff communication that honestly made me laugh out loud when I was highlighting my way through this last night, just because it's
bullshit.
And I'm not scared to say that anymore. I don't have a problem saying that anymore. Anyway, all that being said, let's actually get into what the fucking video is about now. So I just want to read you a bit from the treatment approach. So their goal is to create an environment where symptoms can be interrupted while they learn the skills necessary to succeed following discharge. I need to just be careful not to be
salty
because I had a bad experience with this place, but I know that lots of people have had a really good experience with this place. Okay, let's start with the program expectations. So the first one is symptom control. Of course, you have to complete your meals and your snacks and abstain from compensatory behaviors, purging, exercise, pacing, standing, leg shaking. Oh! The leg shaking. So many of you ask about
what's with the leg shaking rule.
the rule essentially is because they don't want you burning any extra calories. It becomes an unconscious thing for a lot of patients, but yeah, they will call you out on it. If it's not an eating disorder related thing, if you're just doing it because you're anxious or it's a habit, they will still call you out on it. It doesn't matter, like the rules are the rules and everyone is expected to follow. Oh, also some of you have asked, like, what if you have tremors or a tic? They're not gonna like strap you to your chair. That's different. So we're required to attend all groups that were designated for your phase level. We're asked to contribute, participate, complete homework. A lot of you have asked, are you allowed to have your cell phone? In this particular place, yes, we just weren't allowed to take it out of our room. So attendance was mandatory for every group, and if you were to miss a group, you'd have to complete behavior chain analysis forms. Of course, there is a no bullying policy. That bullying behavior that is not tolerated includes, but is not limited to, making judgmental or hurtful statements behind someone's back, eye-rolling, socially excluding others, and/or creating exclusive relationships, calling someone hurtful names, being physically or verbally aggressive. My experience in this place, it was very cliquey, and there was a lot of drama and a lot of people talking behind each other's backs. Talking about your treatment plan with each other. We were to refrain from treatment interfering behaviors or TIBs. If we had any TIBs, we'd have to write about it in our diary cards, which we kept every week and we would hand in every week. So treatment interfering behaviors meant incompletion of meals, constant movement, pacing, and cleaning, non-collaboration with staff, lateness to groups, reassurance seeking, excessive caretaking, incompletion of homework, and secrecy, which means you need to tell staff if you have a slip-up. We were allowed in each other's rooms only with permission. This is weird. Under the column about patients going into each other's rooms, the last bullet point says, patients are not to give each other haircuts. We had to avoid triggering talk, which meant do not engage in street talk or references to addiction lifestyle. The camera shut off because I've been talking for 30 minutes and like we're not even halfway through. We had strict rules of what we were allowed to bring into the unit. We could not have any fashion, exercise, or food-related magazines. We had to wear street clothes all the time, no pajamas, with the exception of weekend breakfasts and evening snacks. But most of us wore pajamas constantly. We could not have shirts with logos or phrases about dieting, food, exercise, alcohol, or drug use, or other revealing clothing. Example, tank tops, low necklines, or see-through clothing. Shoulder straps on tops must be at least 2 inches wide, and both shoulders should be covered. They don't want any revealing clothing because bodies are changing. They wanted to keep body comparison as low as possible, but we were comparing our bodies to everyone else's bodies anyway. Skirts, dresses, and shorts must be no shorter than 2 inches above the knee. So obviously it was our responsibility to keep everything clean. Nothing is permitted to be attached to the walls, ceilings, or door surfaces. Please only use the cork strip provided in your bedrooms. No one did that. We had a cork strip like this long that we were supposed to use for whatever we wanted to hang up. Everyone's walls were covered. Our doors had to remain open during all waking hours, with the exception of if you're changing. We could use the showers from between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. Use of showers may be limited or restricted for therapeutic reasons. So we were allowed to have visitors on weekends and holidays from specific times because they couldn't interrupt mealtime or groups or anything. And visitors couldn't bring any food or beverages into the unit. We were allowed to have pets come and visit us. They could be brought into this room that was just outside the unit, and my dog, who is right there, She came to visit me once and it was wonderful. Substance use was not allowed in program or on passes, and they would do random drug testing and random room searches. We were supposed to refrain from any exercising in any way until we were advised otherwise by staff. This program was very much level-based. So the first phase was assessment phase. During assessment phase, so this phase focuses on meal completion, stopping exercise. You'll meet with a variety of staff such as nurses, a psychiatrist, psychologist, dietitians, a diet technician, recreation therapist, and the program director. The assessment phase is a minimum of 1 week. Most people were on assessment for 1 week, but if they felt you needed to be on assessment longer, they could do that. I think I was on assessment for like 2 or 3 weeks. Bed rest, if you were entering at a significantly low weight, or if you became medically unstable, or if your weight was failing to progress, or for other clinically determined reasons, you will be placed on bed rest. You will be required to minimize activity in order for weight restoration to begin, and a wheelchair will be provided to transport you to appointments and bathrooms and everywhere. Sound terrible? It is. You could then go to half-day programming, or you could go right into full-day programming. It was your choice to make, or if the staff thought that they had to make that choice for you, they could. Half-day programming is offered to allow for a period of reflection and rest. It allows time to adjust to new surroundings, and it's particularly beneficial for people who have a tendency to overwork or keep themselves busy. I did half-day programming for a week, 2 weeks, and then I went to full-day programming. This is my half-day program schedule. And this is what my full day program schedule looked like. More groups. The last phase of treatment is called community reintegration phase. The final 4 weeks of your programming. More time in community, more passes, firm up your discharge plans, meant that you were weight restored, you were doing well consistently, and that phase is not mandatory or required, and it is by invitation only. So then you would move on to discharge. For room assignment, pretty much everyone had a roommate. We could not have any sexual involvement with another patient. We were not allowed to get piercings or tattoos if we went on a pass. We were not allowed scented products. Those are all the general rules. There is so much more I could say. For the sake of time, this video is so long. I've been talking for like an hour. I'm gonna end it here. I hope that answered some of your questions. I don't want to make treatment sound terrifying or terrible. There are good things about treatment too, and I can tell you some of my favorite memories, because there are some good memories I have from being in treatment, but that's for another video. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to let us know what other things you want to hear from us. Like this video if you want more videos like this. With that being said, thank you everyone. We love you all, and I hope everyone is staying healthy and safe. I hope you're all keeping busy, staying sane, and we will see you when we see you.